This is apparently Lord Boo's game. See him right there. So if you talk about the draft for a second here. So this is Tomb of the Spider Queen. Wave clear is at an absolute premium on this map. It is the most wave clear centric map. We do see Kerrigan as the bruiser, Leoric as the tank. Actually, we have two bruisers here. Thrall's going to kind of be the solo laner in this scenario, right? So Thrall's a solo laner, and then we have a massive roaming gang squad. Falstad, Leoric, Karazim, Kerrigan should be able to secure like dozens of kills in the early game. They probably won't, but they should be able to. Sonya should be the solo laner. Zul should be rotating with the team for the clear. And Zul, Johanna, Jaina is so much wave clear that the only option blue team has to get ahead in this game is to get picks. If they don't get picks, they're never going to win the wave clear rotations. Kerrigan already making a mistake right here. Kerrigan should be with the team. Karazim should be with the team. Leoric should be with the team. Everyone should be going mid. This is a pick comp. This is a pick comp. If you're not getting picks, you don't win. So you should want to fight at level 1. The only risk here is that Medic is exceptionally good at level 1 at negating picks because of Safeguard. But there's a solution to that. It's called Kill the Medic, which Kerrigan can easily do because she can go in there, dive in, combo the Medic, and everyone else can get on top of her as well once the Primal Grasp happens. So Johanna's alive. Sonya's alive. Kerrigan's not doing the right thing. The best thing that's happening right now is that Zul's not doing the right thing either. Zul should be rotating, and instead it looks like Zul's going to be the solo laner, and Sonya's going to be rotating, which is very bad. There's really no way of putting it. This is extremely like low level, terrible play. So we have kind of a rotation going here. Leoric is clearing the wave. It looks like Leoric's actually going to stay top the entire time. He's not actively rotating. Lethivarius isn't rotating either, which is bizarre to me because he took Seasoned Marksman. And generally speaking, if you take Seasoned Marksman, you want to rotate as often as possible. Kerrigan is, again, solo laning versus Azul. I'm not sure what's tilting me more, the fact that Azul is solo laning or the fact that Kerrigan is solo laning against him. That's just... I don't know which one of those is worse. They're both bad. They're both real bad. Tanfish should be hiding in this smoke if he wants to solo lane against the Zul. So he rides around. Did he hit the combo this time? He actually gets a pick on the Zul? Yeah, finally. This is another reason that Zul is not a solo laner. The Zul doesn't really have any escapes. Zul could have juked that combo, but instead he walked in a straight line. That, in a lot of circumstances, that would have been a kill on Sonya, but Sonya made the very good adaptation taking block. Against a Thrall, you should almost always take block as Sonya because you will you should be against him in the solo lane, and block will help you not lose the lane, although you'll never really win it unless you're significantly better than the enemy Thrall. For instance, whenever we see Rich play Sonya, he wins the lane versus Thrall. Whenever we see Rich play Thrall, he wins the lane versus Sonya. You can't beat that guy in lane. It's stupid. Kerrigan finally rotates up, tries to get a pick, fails, because she's focusing Sonya over the medic, even though the medic was right there. Jaina, now the solo laner, rotates down. This is just so disorganized. This is so disorganized. Kerrigan goes for the gems there over trying to get a kill on Jaina. Kerrigan could have easily jumped on the Jaina, comboed her. She would have missed 3 gems in exchange for depriving the enemy team of 8. Actually, here's some fun math. Here's some fun Spider Queen math that not a lot of people consider. It doesn't matter how many gems you have. It only matters that you have more gems than your opponent. Because the objective is to get the turn in, if you can give up 3 gems in order to kill someone who has 4, that's always a good trade. Not only you're getting the experience, but you're actually trading up on the objective. So the Kerrigan there made the decision to get 3 gems to lose out on 8. Plus, in addition to that, every hero kill gives you 3 gems, except for Murky and Vikings who only give you 1. So not only would those 3 gems not have gotten lost, they would have still gotten them back, but you would have deprived the enemy team of 8 plus gems. Because there's 8 on Jaina, but notice how no one's in the lane, right? If you clear this wave after you kill the Jaina and let it push into the towers, those 3 gems are also lost. So that was like the worst possible decision the Kerrigan player could have made. Should have just immediately gone on the Jaina. We might still see the Jaina get picked here. No. So Thrall has root, right? Thrall has root available. Kerrigan has combo available. Kerrigan combos. Thrall falls up at the root. That's a dead Jaina. That's 100% a dead Jaina. There's nothing she can do. There's no way she gets out of that. She took Frost Armor, but that's not going to be enough. Kerrigan is an initiator, essentially. Her kit and her style of play with her combo focuses completely around her initiating to get picks and even open fights. One of the reasons we see Kerrigan paired with Arthas, for instance, on a pretty regular basis in high-level play is because Arthas doesn't have a great initiation, Kerrigan does. So Kerrigan takes over that role of being an initiator for her team, and Arthas becomes the follow-up to protect the Kerrigan from, everyone killing her. So if you're playing with a Kerrigan, if you're playing Kerrigan and you're not initiating picks or initiating fights, then you're in a lot of trouble. You should follow. Kerrigan has a better initiate than Thrall does. So if you have a Kerrigan and a Thrall both trying to go for a gank, Kerrigan is the initiator, Thrall should be the follow-up. That was a good combo. Sonya spinning to win. I can't believe she's just sitting there. Oh man. Falstad ends up getting picked in the bot lane. Everyone is so late to this fight. Johanna ends up going down, so it ends up being a 1-for-1. But they lost a lot of value in the bot lane, just because Falstad died and they lost those gems. Still ahead on gems though. 19 turned in, 38 in hand, 17 turned in versus 17 turned in, 31 in hand. So blue team is technically ahead right now. Falstad went static shield. Okay. If you're going to go Seasoned Marksman, you should always go Hammer Gains. The synergy between those two talents is insane, and it gives you a massive amount of sustain. Static Shield is a very good talent, and I think there's a very strong argument for Static Shield in the Mage build, especially on dual-centric maps like Dragonshire. But you take Hammer Gains if you're going full AA build, because you're increasing the amount of health you get back from the talent, and both of them have survivability. Hammer Gains is better for survivability than Static Shield is if you're going AA. That's 100% of the time. That's just a universal truth. Sonya finally gets picked off, trying to turn in, so they lose those gems, which is bad because Sonya actually had quite a few of the gems. I'm not sure why Sonya was trying to turn in solo, and I think a lot of people get obsessed with turning in. You never want to turn in such a way that you could lose your gems, because then you're not turning them in. They're just going on the ground. That's bad. You really need your team to protect you when you're turning in, unless everyone on the enemy team is visible on the map and they're not near the place you're turning in, so they can't interrupt you. Obviously, that was not the case, so Sonya just made a fundamental mistake. We're level 7 now, so Thrall is basically a real hero. Pre-level 7, without follow-through, Thrall doesn't really have enough damage to 100-0 most squishy assassins unless they stick around for a long time. But now we're at a position where he actually can 100-0 people, so Thrall just became a lot more threatening. Jaina, for instance, has to be a lot more careful. If Jaina gets caught here, she's 100% dead. Kerrigan, again, like, leaving. Just hanging out. I think the correct call here is to just wait. And again, that could have been an easy combo. Kerrigan focusing on the wave. Messes the combo. Jaina is able to get out here instantaneously. Webweavers got turned in for free, though, so that ended up being okay. And the bottom siege ended up getting tapped, so that's really, really good. You see Johanna laning against Leoric. Johanna doesn't win this matchup. She doesn't win in wave clear, and she doesn't win in sustain because Drain Hope just wrecks her. So we should see her back off a little bit sooner than that. Leoric just destroys Johanna. You never want to have Johanna 1v1 with Leoric ever. So Johanna comes in, gets a massive condemn into a root onto Thrall. Thrall should maybe go down here, but no, there's no follow-up from the team. They're all focusing on the Webweaver. If Sonya, Johanna, and Zul had all focused Thrall there, he would have absolutely died. You see Kerrigan come in with the combo, gets absolutely destroyed. And here's where Leoric is making the biggest mistake. In a big way. Leoric has wave clear, so a lot of people are very tempted to split push with him. Anytime a hero has wave clear, you get very tempted to split push. But as the tank, he's sort of the sponge and the initiator that allows the rest of his team to not die during these, rather big fights. So this is a 5-man versus a 4-man. Blue has to back off here. They've gotten enough value that they have to back off, and Leoric needs to rotate down, at least be in the mid lane, right? He doesn't want to be so far away that he can't help his team if things go really, really sideways. But it looks like everyone's going to back off and rotate. Zul is switching up, going to the mid lane. He's going to deal with that, so it ends up being okay. But they could have gotten actual kills there and secured 10. Again, Kerrigan finally hitting a combo. That is secure 10 for them. Now you want to fight. Now you 100% want to fight. You have Maelstrom, you have Gust, you have Sunder. I assume we're going to see Entomb and possibly 7-sided Strike. Maybe Palm. We do see the Entomb. I like that. Leoric starts to back off here. He doesn't need to back off. His team is rotating up. Palm is there, but now it's a safer choice. We do see a Gust on Johanna, but no real follow-up from the team. Oh, they might get there in time. They do. Johanna ends up going down. Nice job. We see a good Entomb. Kerrigan doing combo inside the Entomb, which is really, really good. 2 picks happen there, and this should be a turn-in. This should just be a free turn-in. Everyone should back off right now and go turn-in. Turn-in, tap, and then push together as a team. Instead, they're hovering. Whenever you do this, whenever you hover, whenever you're ahead in a fight, and instead of going to do something on the map that's useful, you just hover in front of the building, you're losing time. Those death timers are a resource that allows you to just win. We do see that Leap and Falling Sword were picked up. Those two actually combo together very, very well, along with Poison Nova and Stim Drone Ring of Frost. So there's some wombo potential here. Given the way they've been rotating and how badly they've been playing, I would say that Red Team ends up being behind for pretty much the entire game, and they get one wombo off in the late game that somehow ends up winning for the game. That would be my guess. Leoric does go down. Thrall does go down. Kerrigan does go down for that leap. Very nicely done. All the gems here are absolutely critical. Falstad actually has Gust. Falstad actually has Gust available. Falstad could have gusted the 3 of these people away, walked in, grabbed all the gems, and then barrel rolled over the wall. All of these gems do not have to be gone. They're only gone because the Falstad didn't value the gems. Well done. Gust is available. It's right there. So easy pick on the Morales with the Entomb. This is the benefit of Leoric versus Lieutenant Morales, actually. One of the only times that I approve of Morales taking couples therapy at 13 is when you're against the Leoric. Every time you get Entombed, you should just die unless you have couples therapy. And it's really easy to Entomb a medic because of the mobility that Wraith Walk gives you. Leoric's one of the best counters to medic in the entire game. Also one of the best counters to Johanna in the entire game. So between the two of those, like, this should be an easy game. The comp is just significantly better, but significantly better getting picks, I should say. Significantly better getting picks. In terms of wave clear, Red has a better team, and wave clear is easier to execute than picks, because picks require some amount of coordination between abilities, which is easy if you played together, or you have a lot of experience, or you're on comms. But wave clear is like you clear the wave and you rotate. You clear the wave and you rotate. Like, no communication required at all. Once again, people underestimating the damage of Falling Sword. Falling Sword does a lot of damage, for the record. After its most recent round of buffs, if you're against, fragile heroes who depend on self-healing in order to not die, like Thrall, like Kerrigan, you can actually, if they're low, just Falling Sword and kill them. Also works extremely well versus Medic. It's not so great with Medic, to be honest. I probably wouldn't take Falling Sword in the majority of cases where I had a Medic on my team. But I have a Sonya, I have a Zul. That's a pretty big front line. I can be out of the fight for 2 seconds to secure those kills. So blue team has a turn in here, and red team doesn't. We're on even talent here, so this is the right call, going for this aggressive play. They do instantly get the Morales. Sonya is forced to burn Leap. This is already a good fight. So 3 ults burned here in exchange for 1 or 2, but they got a kill. Falstad is extremely low, but not low enough for that palm trigger. Heal needs to happen here. Where did he go? Oh, Kara's moving in the back. It's into being a 3 for none. Or 3 for 1. That was a pretty big overcommitment, honestly. Kerrigan ends up going down. Pretty big overcommitment in terms of heroics. They didn't need to burn Maelstrom to get that kill. Entomb by itself was enough. And then once they had the kill, you can afford to back off and let Karazim refill your health bars a little bit and then go again for the turn-in. You really don't want to lose the gems. Although it looks like in this case, a lot of the gems got picked up by the Thrall player, so that's really good. We see kind of a damage build coming out of our monk. We do see Overtake picked up, Wave, 100 Fists, Fists of Fury. Particularly with Azul, this should be Cleanse. Azul is just a really easy target in general to cleanse, and the root ends up doing a lot of damage, particularly if he takes amplified damage at 16. But even if you don't go that, if as a soul support, you almost always want to go for the heal talents. So Echo of Heaven obviously is very, very strong as well. Technically, the Deadly Reach talents do increase your healing because they increase the amount of value you get from Transcendence. They're just not quite as good as Protective Shield, Healing Totem, Spell Shield, Quicksilver, Relentless, those sorts of talents. Relentless is actually very, very good when you're up against the tool because you can essentially bait the root. But since it only lasts for half as long as you, it's like whatever. Once again, red team gets essentially a free turn-in. I'm amazed this is not Preventative Care. Preventative Care is the go-to talent versus auto-attackers. Let's count them. Auto-attacker, auto-attacker, auto-attacker. Kerrigan really sort of a melee mage, so that's a tank and 3 auto-attackers. Not Preventative Care. Falsehead gets caught out again. That was kind of Falsehead's fault and kind of the tank's fault. Leoric making a classic tank mistake of like hovering around the edges, which is something a bruiser is supposed to do. If you're the bruiser, you hover around the edges waiting for someone to get out of position, and then you go in on them. If you're the tank, you actually need to be your team's front line. So if your range damage is in front of you, you need to be further up. So it's one of those things, is the Falstad making the mistake, or is the Leoric making the mistake? Because if your tank's not doing their job, sometimes you need to do the job, even if you're not doing it correctly. But it's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. Kerrigan, again, was hovering around the edge looking for the engage on the back line. But when the Falsehead got picked, that went out the window. Once you're down a hero, you can't fight. It just doesn't ever make any sense to fight when you're down a hero. It literally does not. Unless if the enemy team is 5 and you're is 4, you're not fighting, you're running. So a little bit of mistake from the Leoric and the Falsehead there. I'll blame both of them. And then Kerrigan made a huge mistake in thinking that she could go in right there. Because she didn't have to go in. She was perfectly safe where she was. Again. Leoric just stayed in there too. He had Wraith Walk. I'm not sure why he just stayed there and died. That was really weird. I think this is one of those things where Leoric was thinking that since he comes back so fast, it doesn't matter, which is kind of true. But that's only true if you're trading. If you're just dying, it's pointless. So Morales goes down, Kerrigan finally getting the combo. That's what Kerrigan should be doing pretty much all the time, is trying to open up the Morales. Getting the reset Q on the Janeth. Zelmig should be dead here. There's no possible way he gets away from the chasing potential of a Kerrigan, a Thrall, and a Karazim. See that happening there? So that ends up being 3 for 1. I'm going to count that Leoric death because he actually sort of started that fight. But all of the keeps are basically dead. I think this one is going to go down. We'll have to see. Turn-in should be the priority here. At a high level of play, where this sort of bullshit was not going on, this fight should be over. 100% over. Zul and Johanna should not be here doing this. They're essentially feeding. There's even going down to that. He should have self-palmed. He had the ability to palm, but again, he wasn't respecting the amount of damage that Falling Sword does. Managed to hit the bottom keep. At a high level of play, one person could have turned in while everyone else started boss, and then they could have easily gotten boss while the web whippers were pushing. And I think that would have been the better play. But because the Zul and the Johanna decided to feed instead, that wasn't possible. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Priority here should be to get a keep to relieve some of the pressure. Deep pushing bot lane is important, but not the most critical thing. A lot of deep push will happen naturally. So I would prefer everyone was top right now. Like, literally the entire team was top. Get the fort, get the wall, get the keep. It opens up a win condition, which is really, really important. So right now, in my opinion, the Oric's the only person who's in the correct lane. And I really do think that the entire team needs to be with the tank at this point, regardless. You need to be grouped up. So mid here is kind of pointless. Getting the fort low has some value. But because you need the experience. But it's not going to end up working out. The Oric is very late. And here's one of those things. Everyone in the late game should pretty much be with the tank. So if your tank's somewhere and you're not, is the tank wrong or is everyone else in your team wrong? It's a hard question. This is a team-centric game. But one of you is definitely wrong, and it is a fixable problem. So I assume they go for boss now. Looks like our Falstad's a little frustrated. Zul basically on core. The Oric AFK because he's typing. This is why you don't do this, by the way, ever. Because if you're behind, there's a small chance you can win if everyone's constantly doing what they're supposed to be doing. But if you're sitting there typing, you're not playing the game. And if you're not playing the game, you're definitely not going to win. Which is why correcting people in the middle of a game is pointless. 100% pointless. Especially if you do it in a really hostile way. Everyone just stuck and standing in these rings. Why can't I can't land rings like that because everyone moves. Like I don't understand. That's game. Link in my tank guide. Unfortunately, you can't copy paste from in-game chat, so I encourage you to link that to him after, like whisper it to him. So yeah, I'm not sure that qualifies as a thrown game. I'm gonna be honest, because despite the fact that there was a small level disparity at one point where blue was favored, I don't think blue was ever ahead in that game. Because they lost the wave clear. They lost the wave clear war. And whenever you lose the draft on Tomb of the Spider Queen in particular, the enemy team has more wave clear, you need to go for picks. And because no picks happened pretty much at all in the early game, with a couple of exceptions, you were actually always behind. You were doomed to lose that game if you let Zul get to a level where, like, if Zul was even on Tomb of the Spider Queen going into like level 16, then he's actually basically won the game. No. So here's a funny thing. Turn-ins don't matter on Tomb of the Spider Queen if the enemy team has good wave clear. It's kind of a funny thing. The objective on Tomb of the Spider Queen only matters if it pushes. Wave clear will mean the objective does not push because it just dies. Which is one of the reasons that Zul is so good on that map, because he has such good wave clear. It's one of the reasons that Johanna is so good on the map. It's one of the reasons that Leoric is so good on the map. It's one of the reasons that Jaina, Kael'thas, is so good on that map. You need to kill the... If your team has worse wave clear, you need to kill their wave clear in order to win the game. Because their wave clear wasn't dying, I mean, Zul only died twice, Jane only died twice, Sunny died 4 times, John only died 3 times. But your best wave clear was Leoric, he died 3. And your pick heroes, you know, Kerrigan in particular, died 4 times. So, as a general rule, if you have worse wave clear on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you need to have more kills by a lot. And that was just never the case. So, I would say Red Team was ahead in that game literally the whole time. Because their comp was better for the map, and there was never any successful counterplay.